Hi there, and welcome to Messages of Love 711. My name is Kate. I'm going to be doing a reading for us today. It's called The Inner Quest, and using the cards, The Wild Unknown Archetypes. Beautiful, beautiful deck. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be pulling 4 cards, one from each of the different piles. The first card is the Who. The second card is the Where. The third card is With What. And the fourth card, it's the Why. And the question we're asking, the most important question for this reading is, where am I at on my journey? And what I'll do is, because this book is so well written and the messages are so clear, I'm going to be reading from the cards, from the book for each of the cards to get the full depth of what each of the cards represents. So the first card that we're going to pull is the Who. And so the Who is the archetypal side of the self that is most dominant. So it's the most dominant energy for this question that we're asking. Where am I at in the journey? So we have a flyer. Okay, so I just put them back in. All right, so we're going to do first card out, the Eternal Child. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the Eternal Child in here, and then I will read it for us. The Eternal Child, the Inner Child, the Child of Joy. The Eternal Child is connected to the timeless, ageless, and infinite aspects of life. It is radiant and fearless and seeks joy above all else and at any cost. It struggles being bound to an aging body with physical limitations in a world that demands attention to detail and logistics. The Eternal Child wants to nix all rules and responsibilities and go beyond what others say is possible. It wants to return with plenty of friends to the land of the free, where divine wine and creativity pour from the earth and sky. We all want to sip from the well of eternal youth, and that this makes the Eternal Child naturally popular, perhaps even famous. The Eternal Child glimmers. It reminds us of what is possible, what is magical about this precious life. So a side note here is, it says this archetype is so spirited that when its appetite for life isn't satiated, it seeks spirits and substance elsewhere. The Eternal Child struggles with addictions of all varieties. This may resonate with you, this may not. Another side note, celebrity culture is based heavily on this archetype, as the phrase live hard, die young, and the series of artists and musicians who died at 27. When light, this energy of this archetype is joyful, playful, accepts all in magic, and when in dark, it's addicted, selfish, adrift, and burns out. This is your Who. Okay, so for the second card, we're looking at the Where on your journey. The part of you, the Eternal Child part of you. It's like the child wanting to break free of the chains of programming, society, limitations, barriers, restrictions. I love the energy of children, the rebelliousness, the questioning, the why. Why is it this way? Why does it have to be this way? It's a beautiful, beautiful energy to be in. when in the life. The where, we have the river. Water reflects emotions. Okay, so for our where, the river, the stream, the flow, the current. There's a reason so many rituals of change and rebirth take place in the river. It is forgiveness embodied in physical form. Without asking anything in return, the river washes away what is no longer necessary, smoothing over sharp edges and accepting all of our mistakes and grievances. Once we step in, we are no longer in control. The river carries us further down the stream of transformation than we plan to go. Its waters have a special gift for reflecting back to us a new and dreamlike vision. Once the tears have passed, we see ourselves as we haven't before, with a little more lightness, grace, and fluidity. Keep in mind, the you that stands within the river is the real you, full of depth, emotion, and potential. Nothing to hide, nothing to judge. May you drink in the sight of your true self. It's like where we're at now on the journey for whoever this resonates for. It's like stepping back into the river and letting the river strip us of all of these barriers, these restrictions, like purging this from our system, allowing us and allowing the inner child, the eternal child, to break free of its restraints, of the bondage. You can only resist the river for so long. Eventually it will pull you towards change, so you may as well get in style and grace. The river is emotion. When you are in its current, you will know it by the bursting forth of tears, laughter, song, despair. All of the emotions flow in its current. When light, the river is acceptance, grace, reflection, and forgiveness. When dark, it's torment of emotions, flooding, and overwhelm. With what? The archetypal tool that you use, find, or give up so destiny can unfold. We're thinking of this third card, the with what, as the key to the situation or the best tool for the task at hand. The eternal child is getting refreshed, transformed in the waters of the river, in the blessings of the waters of the river. The with what? The thread. The thread, the path, the view, the circuit. Life is a tangle. So much happens simultaneously and circuitously, leaving us grappling for meaning and direction in a network of distractions when we connect to the energy of the thread. However, we strike the deepest vein in the body. Our whole being responds to its tug. Meaning is pumped through our bloodstream. Our mind and spirits are lifted. We remember who we are and what we came into this world to do. Though this happens on the most profound level, it could be the simplest incident that activates the thread. A song, an image, a conversation heard in passing. It's a trigger. No matter how confusing and multi-layered our modern lives become, if we are connected to the thread, we are free. Being tethered to it is the only anchor our heart requires. You may think you have to find the thread and pull it. Imagine, though, that it's already tied around you, waiting for you to follow it home. Recall a moment in your life when you felt fully alive. The thread is waiting for you amid the details of that memory. It's what connects everything. It's the thread of life. When light, the circuit of meaning within chaos. Nothing's random. When dark, a binding, frustrating, and taut. thread that connects us all. Right? It's like we're going through the river, reconnecting to the thread, re-understanding, re-evaluating, re-knowing, knowing again as a child the thread that connects us all. And the journey we're on is traversing through this river, through these current energies, to find our path again of the inner child, the purpose, the reason why we're here. Okay, so this final card we're going to do is the why, the deeper purpose of your journey. This is the mythic theme or challenge that you will face as you approach your growth edge. Think of this card as what your entire journey is about. This is the why. Anima Mundi is our card. The soul of the world, all that is connected through the thread. Anima Mundi epitomizes the principle, accept all, reject none. Simply put, it is the living soul of the world and all its multifaceted, multidimensional layers, bonded together by loving cosmic forces. Diversity is celebrated, multiplicity is honored, and nothing is denied embrace. Constructs of separation dissipate into the wonderful mess of shared consciousness. Anima Mundi is the link between the literal and the imaginal, the rational and the mythic. It is the connective fiber that makes life meaningful. This card indicates an initiation on the level of the soul. You will awaken the unique light within and witness how this light contributes to the radiance of the entire universe. You will sense yourself as a critical note in the cosmic orchestra. Destiny is altered as you hear the enchanted melody of all living things. The embrace of Anima Mundi is available anytime, anywhere, to anyone, day or night, rich or poor. It is a process unveiling our resistance to its love. Anima Mundi is the energy behind the World card and the Tarot deck. Both carry themes of universal unity, completeness, embrace, and of cycles. And of this one, I don't know that I read this, but the soul of the world, all that is. And when light, it's tending to the sacred details of life. And when dark, it's overwhelmed by the bigness of existence. It's, as an eternal child, finding our place in the world, in which the thread that connects all, that we find again as an eternal child, of being purified in the river of these energies that we're experiencing. I hope this message resonated with you. I'll show you once again each of the cards. The Eternal Child, the River, the Thread, and Anima Mundi. Many blessings to you on your journey.